for us. So last week, Sunday, we began Module 6, and we began to look into how to activate multiple streams of income. How to activate multiple streams of income. And one of the things that we spent time on extensively last week is by understanding the different types of stream. The different types of stream. And it's very, very important for us to have clarity about that, because one of the major mistake and misconception that I have seen amongst people when it comes to this subject of multiple streams is the fact that people don't understand that there are different types of streams. So they end up getting involved in multiple struggles, and then they wonder why things are not working the way it's supposed to work. So multiple streams of income is not multiple struggles. So last week we looked extensively at different things, but the core of last week's session was on the types of streams. So we said number one, you have what we call the one-time stream. And when you have the one-time stream, it means that you labor once, but for that one labor, you are going to earn an income only once. And then we said the second one is once and always. You labor once, but for that one labor, you are going to continue to earn. And then the third one is free flow, which is you not just working, but your money working for you. So today, as we move on, I want to try to help us understand that concept of streams before we now move on. So I'll need 3 people. I need 3 volunteers. 3 people, please come forward. I need 3 volunteers. Come. And let's, so, okay, you guys are wearing uniform. Now planner come. Okay, good. Okay. And today, me, I'm not wearing uniform. Okay. So now, let's look at this now. So let's assume now that this is one-time stream. So that means you labor once, but for that one labor, you only get paid once. So in order for you to be paid again, you have to labor again. Now let's assume now that this is once and always. So you labor once, but for that one labor, you get paid continually. And then let's assume now that this one is free flow. At this level, you don't need to labor at all. It is your money that labors for you. Now, when you understand these 3 streams now, let me now take you to a practical. So these are 3 streams. Now, we move to the other side, and you now see what happens. What's your name? Jude. Okay. Now, so let's bring Jude to this other side. So please listen now, because this is where we have a lot of problem now. So this is Jude. Now, Jude is a teacher. He teaches in a highbrow school in Lagos, Nigeria. And Jude, because he teaches in a highbrow school, earns good money. So every month, Jude is paid 550,000 naira as a teacher. Very good job in Nigerian standard. Now, we now have Jude again. The same Jude, though. Jude is a teacher, but Jude is not just a teacher. One of the things that Jude also does is that Jude, because of the kind of job he does, he was able to put money together, plus cooperative money, plus everything. He now got a car. So Jude got a car, and when Jude is going to work, he will carry people. When Jude is coming back from work, he will carry people. During the weekend, Jude will take his car again and do Uber and carry people. So Jude is making money as a teacher because he's earning salary. Jude is also making money as a driver because he has a car and he uses it to make money. Now, Jude again is not just a driver or teacher. One other thing that Jude does is that Jude is an MC / compare. So Jude, from time to time, will be invited to come and, do MC in an event or do a compare, and they pay him. So now listen, Jude, the teacher, earns 550,000 naira. Jude, the driver, apart from the money he earns as a salary, is able to make another 100, sometimes 150, depending on how busy he is during the weekend. So he makes 150. So 550 plus 150, Jude is making 700,000. Then Jude is an MC and compare. Sometimes he's busy every weekend. Any weekend when he's busy, he's not able to do the Uber fully. But when he's busy, when he's less busy, he can do Uber fully. But sometimes Jude will charge people 300,000, 500,000 because he's an upcomer. He's not charging millions like big comedians. So now, Jude sometimes has only one job in a month. Sometimes he doesn't have any job any month. So this particular aspect of Jude is not regular. So sometimes he makes money, sometimes he does not make money. But averagely, in last year's budget, when you look at his last year, Jude was able to make 3.5 million last year from this deal. That means he did maybe just 7 or 10 jobs in a whole year. So we cannot know how much he makes here every month. Now, looking at this Jude now, this is where the issue is. How many sources of income does Jude have? You see, how many sources of income does Jude have? Now, many of you will say, oh, Jude have 3 sources of income. Jude does not have 3 sources of income. That is why many people are poor. Jude has only 1 source of income. That is why I explained to you the 3 types of income. Now, you see, Jude has only 1 source of income because all these 3 falls under 1. So, Jude is a teacher. He earns money by doing what? Once and only. Do you understand that? Once and only. So you labor once, but for that one labor, what happens? You get paid once. In order to be paid again, what do? You have to labor again. So he's still in one level. Now, Jude is a driver. He's still the same Jude. He's once. So if he drives the car and gets passenger, he makes money. If he does not drive and get passenger, he doesn't make money. So even though he's making 150 here, it is still once and only. Because it is still the same Jude. Then Jude, the MC, and compare, is still the same Jude. So he's still under once and only. Because if he's not there, he cannot collect money. Will you collect money for a wedding you are not present in? No. So this is Jude struggling. This is what we call multiple struggles. And that's what many people do that they call multiple streams of income. You are working. Even though you are working, you are earning a salary. You will now come to church on Sunday. You have perfume in the bag. You have Italian clothes. And you have Dubai clothes in your boots. After service, you are calling people. You are carrying them to your booth. You are selling. And then you have, you went to makeup training. You are now doing makeup once in a while. You say, I work very hard though. I do a lot of things. I do a lot of things. You are a struggler. That's why you are poor. Being wealthy is not about I do a lot of things. Multiple streams is not I do a lot of things. No. Multiple streams means a lot of things are working for me, not I'm working a lot of things. So what we see here is multiple struggles. That's why you see a lot of people, when they have a situation in their family where, maybe for instance, the husband dies. You see a lot of women that say, when my husband was alive, there was money. We were very rich. You see a lot of children that will tell you, when my father was alive, we were very rich. Those things are not really true. You know why? If your family is truly rich, one man's death does not cancel it. That somebody died does not mean that they are no more a landlord. The house will still be paying. That somebody died does not mean that money will not continue to flow. If there are cash flow producing assets. So most of the time, the reason why people say, when my husband died, money, when my father died, is because those people were struggling. They were doing 2, 3, 4 things. So imagine Jude now saying that, I'm not feeling fine. In fact, for the next 1 month, I'm not going to do anything. What will happen? All these things will die. Imagine, God forbid, that Jude is called home to be with the Lord. What happens? All these 3 things will die. So most of the time, what you people are calling multiple streams of income is not multiple streams of income, it's multiple struggles. So now, how do we now activate multiple streams of income to change this idea? So let's replace it now. So let's now take Jude here now. So Jude is a teacher. Is earning money as a teacher. By virtue of being a teacher, he's able to collect student staff loan, a cooperative loan. He now buys a car. When he buys the car, what does he now do? He now gives the car out to somebody else to be using as Uber, and the person will be delivering to him. Now, when he does that, what happens is the person will pick him up at home in the morning, drop him in the office. While he's doing his teaching job, the car is not sitting down idle. This person takes the car, does all the Uber runs. When it's time to close, the person will pick him up, take him back home. On the way home, they can do Uber ride share and bring other people in the car, or do normal, just normal taxi or cab, and then drops him at home. The person can continue the work. On weekend, he's busy. The same him now is busy doing this. Now, because he's no more having to do this now, he can have enough time to push to do more MC job, to push to do more compare job. He can become more busy every weekend to make money from this end. But because he's now a student in the school of money, and he now understands that he needs to separate himself from what produces money for him, what does he now do? He creates an academy and a company. When he creates the academy and the company, he gets a lot of younger people that are interested in MC and compare work. What does he do? He trains them, he mentors them, and they form MC Academy or Compare Incorporated. And instead of him marketing himself as an MC or a compare, he markets the company as an MC or compare company. You see a lot of people now that do ushering services, protocol services. The owner of the company is not the one that is wearing uniform to go and do usher. The owner of the company is not the one that is going to do the protocol. What do? They recruit ushers. They recruit protocols. And then the company gets the job. So they can get a job to say, okay, we are going to give you usher 30,000 per usher for the event. But they will now call the usher and give the usher 10,000. And the company will make 20,000. So he can now do that now and have an MC group just like ushering and protocol. Then there will now be a lot of MC registered under him. There will be a lot of compare. So when people need MC or compare, they are not talking to Jude. They are talking to Jude Incorporated or Jude LLC or Jude Compares. So with that, whether he's around or not, money will continue to flow. So with this now, Jude can receive a call of God and go on mission. Jude can receive the call of God and go to do the will of God and be busy winning souls, but he will not be poor. Why? Because wherever he goes, money is coming. Wherever he goes, the company is functioning. People are going to the company, they are getting good service. People are entering the car, they are getting good service. After a while, he buys another car. He buys another car. After a while, are you seeing that now? That is multiple streams. So God forbid, if Jude goes home to be with the Lord, the wife and the children will continue to collect this money. The wife and the children will continue to collect this money. Why? Because it is not built around Jude. It is built around the system and the structure. Do you understand that now? That is multiple streams of income. God bless you guys. So do we understand that now? That is multiple streams of income. So multiple streams of income is you receiving money and income from different channels. Not you exchanging your time or exchanging your energy for money. No. As long as you are exchanging your time and exchanging your energy for money, you are still at the elementary level, which is the once and only level. So you need to exit that once and only, which is what I told you last week Sunday. You need to move fast to exit once and only and exit once and always as fast as you can. So once and always and free flow is where you should be operating in. As you are growing old, because nobody grows young, as you are growing old, begin to eliminate anything that takes your time, anything that takes your energy. Begin to eliminate it as much as you can. Anything that takes your time, anything that takes your energy, begin to eliminate it as much as you can. Do we understand that now? It's very, very important. Extremely, extremely important. Okay, so now, let's now look at the strategies that you need to apply in creating multiple streams of income? What are the strategies that you need to apply in order to activate multiple streams of income? You remember also last week Sunday I told us, when you go to Genesis chapter 2, beginning from verse 8 all the way to verse 15, we see how that the Bible says the Lord God planted man in the garden to tend and to keep. I explained that to you last week Sunday, to tend and to keep. And then the Bible says a river went out of Eden. So in order to activate multiple streams of income, the first thing that you need to do is to discover your primary stream. Discover your primary stream. What is your primary stream? What exactly are you called to do? Now listen, there's a difference between your job and your work, your career and your calling. Your job is what you do to earn a living. Your work is what you are created to do. So when you study the Bible, you will not see the Bible or the covenant use the word job. Because job is not for covenant people. Work is for covenant people. Say, Pastor, what are you talking about? My father worketh, itato, and I work. Work while it is day, for the night cometh when no man can work. He that will not work, let him not eat. I will bless the works of your hand, not the job of your life. Work. So what is work? Your work is your calling. Your work is your purpose. Your work is your assignment. Fishes don't struggle to swim. Birds don't struggle to fly. Why? Because they are in line with their purpose. What they are doing to them is not a job, but it's work. They are working. And now listen and listen well. Once you discover your work, you will not need to work any day in your life. So your job is what you do to earn a living. So it's okay to have a job while you are trying to discover yourself. But once you have discovered yourself and you have discovered purpose, that becomes your life mandate. That becomes your life's assignment. And that's what you should focus on, because your gold is tied to your gift. Your treasure is tied to your talent. Your profit is tied to your potential. So discover your primary stream. So for me now, I am a teacher. Everything I do is teaching. I am called to teach. That is my calling. That is my destiny. I am called to teach. So teaching is my calling. Teaching is my destiny. I am called to teach. So I teach people all around success. All around success. All around success. Now, as a pastor, I am using my calling to teach. As a public speaker, I am using my calling to teach. As an author, I am using my calling to teach. As a mentor, I am using my calling to teach. As a businessman, I am using my calling to. So everything I do is teaching, using different things to teach and to reveal to people what they need to do to become all-round successful. Now, so number one is what? Discover your primary and dominant stream. And that is the major thing. A lot of people are confused. And what do you think I should do? I don't know what I should do. This year you are here. Next year you are there. No, discover it. One of the greatest blessings of my life that I'm forever grateful to God for is that I discovered purpose early. I discovered purpose early. Very early in life, I discovered what the plan of God for my life is, and I stayed glued to that, and I'm still on that course. So number one is discover your primary and dominant stream. You see, it is not what you do. It is the fact that you are doing what you should be doing. If your assignment on earth is to teach, stay in teaching. I'm a teacher. But understand the different dimensions. If your assignment on earth is to be a nurse or a doctor or a musician or an actress or a cook, stay with it. Because listen to me, what you are doing, somebody else is doing the same thing and they are making billions. Why are they able to make billions from it and you are not making anything? It's not because what you are doing is wrong. You are also a cook. But there are cooks and there are cooks. There are people that cook, but they understand that, okay, this cooking is my calling. But they don't just cook in the kitchen and just feed their family and just be receiving accolades from their husband and children. No. They carry the cooking beyond their own kitchen. They set up a kitchen and they begin to sell to other people. They go from there and they begin to go online and they begin to do master classes. They begin to teach people how to cook. They go online, they have their YouTube channel, they begin to show people how they go through the process. So before you know it, even though it is still cooking, they are cooking and they are selling. They are cooking and they are training. They are cooking and they are doing YouTube monetization. They are cooking and they are selling products and merchandising. So you find that it is still the same cooking, but they have created multiple streams from that one cooking because now they have discovered their primary stream. So number 2, use investment mentality to create other streams. Use investment mentality to create other streams. Please listen and listen well. When that one river went out of Eden, that one river, the Bible says, and the river parted and became 4. Parted and became 4. Now, it became 4. What are the 4 that it became? Pison, Gihon, Hiddekel, and Euphrates. Pison, Gihon, Hiddekel, and Euphrates. So it was one river, but that one river parted and became 4 because the person that have discovered their primary stream did not just sit down to say, this is my primary stream. What did they do? They went on to develop investment mentality and to understand all these things we are talking about. And that mindset of understanding money, understanding how finances work, made them to realize that, look, I can't stay on this thing without opening up other channels. Now, one of the major challenges that a lot of people have is on how to balance diversification and focus. I remember many years ago when I first shared, either the first or second time I shared on multiple streams of income here in church. It was very, very years, maybe in the early 2000s. We had a lady in church then. In fact, she's a landlady. She has a house not too far from here now. She was a member of the church then. And as at then, she's someone that is multi-gifted, multi-tasked, and all this stuff. And then when I finished that, she said she wanted to see me. 2 reasons why she wanted to see me. Say, Pastor, I've been involved in multiple struggles. Say, but again, there are many things I could have done. But they keep telling us we have to be focused. We have to be focused. Jack of all trade, master of none. Jack of all trade, master of none. So I just thought to look. So there are many things I could have explored that I did not explore because I did not understand that being focused does not mean that I should not diversify. So a lot of people have the same mental block. They yesterday, jack of all trade. Which one are you really doing? It's because of multiple struggles. When you are involved in multiple struggles, people see you everywhere, jumping around doing things, and they are not seeing the money. Because if people saw you with money, and they see that you are making money, they will not call you jack of all trade, master of none. They will come and be meeting you, say, how you dey do am? Show me road. But because you seem to be everywhere, you seem to be doing everything, and you don't have any result to show, that's why they can call you jack of all trades, master of none. I was able to guide her. She went on, became a landlady, and then a lot of things opened up before she left the church. So you need to use investment mentality to do what? To grow all the other streams. Another thing we need to understand is the 30-70 principle. Now listen, in the 30-70 principle, one of the things we see is this. Never spend it, or we've shared this all in the course of the beginning. Every money that comes into your hand, 30% of that money does not belong to you. For every money that comes into your hand, 30% of that money does not belong to you. So since 30% of the money does not belong to you, what you need to do is to now do the right thing with the 30. So the first 10% is your tithe. The second 10% is savings. The third 10% is personal development. Or the first 10% tithe, the second 20% savings. So you need to save a minimum of 10% of your income. So if you have discovered your primary stream, which is what I have done, which is what many people have done, as money begins to come through your primary stream, whether it's salary, whether it's honorarium, whether it's prophetic offering, whether it's gifts, whatever you get, you now begin to save. That money you save, you now begin to use it to open up other streams. And as you are opening up other streams, that stream now becomes a stream on its own. Then you now begin to build each stream. You begin to build each stream. Now, on building each stream, let me talk to you now on the trinity of wealth creation as we wrap up. So when it comes to creating wealth, there are many things you can do that can become a vehicle for your wealth. But there are three major vehicles that I will advise you to explore. And maybe I will add one making for. Number one is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship. Think on how you can start something on your own or be a part of something that has been started. So entrepreneurship has gone beyond you owning it all. You may not own it all, but you may be a co-owner. And imagine all the businesses in the world if you are an equity partner in those businesses. As career people, you need to focus on your career and take advantage of that. So number one is what we call entrepreneurship. Number two will be money markets through capital markets. Now, there are two different things, but because they are all involved in finances, I put them together. So money market talks about financial instruments and financial investment that you can do with different financial platforms and organizations and governments. So you can do bonds, you can do treasury bills, you can do mutual funds, you can do REITs, you can do annuities, you can do a lot. So there you can do commercial paper. So there are a lot of investments you can do, fixed deposit, call deposit, all kinds. Then you can do stocks and shares. That is buying into existing businesses, not as an equity partner in the sense of being an equity majority shareholder, but just being, investing and trading in their stocks. So that is another thing you can do. So that means you are busy working, but while you are working, your money can be working for you in the stock market. Your money can be working for you in another business. Number three is real estate. Real estate. And you know me, real estate to me is the best and the best. We call it the Ogapatapata of them all. So real estate is real investment. So for real estate, what do? You can do land banking. You can build house. You can buy a house. You can do fractional ownership. You can join other people to own a house, either locally or globally. So once you understand this, it will go a long way in helping you to be able to succeed and excel. So that now becomes multiple streams of income. So that means, number one, you have discovered your primary stream. With the money you are making, you are saving, and then you have other streams working for you. Maybe there are 4 or 5 businesses where you are a part owner. Maybe you have treasury bills, you have bonds, you have stocks, you have commercial paper, and then you have land, you have houses. Before you know it, all those things will be working while you are still working. And then everything will now come together to help you to become one of the wealthy people on earth. So that is our focus for today. Next week, Sunday, we'll move on to another module as we continue to flow. Hallelujah.